and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, seeing so many happy faces within the room. I'll begin my talk with a very simple question. When was the last time when you heard anything related to the depleting water levels or the scorching summer heat? Not very long time ago, right? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shivendra Gupta, and I'm a co founder at Samocha Stories Around Chai and Tea Origin. Today, I am here with you to talk about this burning topic of climate change and suggest some changes which we all as a community can take, the small steps which we can take together to find a solution to this problem. I'll tell you about a recent incident. I have been fortunate enough to live across different cities in India. So, to rejoice my childhood memories, we recently went to a small city called Pithoragar in the state of Uttarakhand. When we there, when we were there 20 25 years back, it used to be lot of cold and the snowfall used to happen every year. But this time when we went in November last year, we found out that there was no snowfall. When I talked to the local people there, they told me that the natural water sources are drying up, the snowfall happens rarely, and due to the changing rainfall patterns, the cultivation of crop has been impacted widely. When I researched more on that and I related to these things with my business as well, so when we connected to our tea plantation owners in Darjeeling and Siliguri region, they also told the same story that during the COVID times, the tea, the kind of cultivation, the quality was very good, but when these polluting activities started again, the kind of tea cultivation has gone down again. So after relating all these things, I found out few of the impacts, the major impacts of climate change in our daily lives. I'll start with few ones. The first, which we all know about, is the extreme heat. So we when we move out, we have already seen that some of the cities are seeing the temperatures going beyond 45 or 50 degrees Celsius. The water sources are drying up. When you drive with your car, you see कि there is a pull, एक river का bridge है, and then it is mentioned कि that name is written there, but you cannot see any water flowing through the river. This is very common. Like lot of bridges are there in that way in every state in India. You see that water sources are drying up, and it is getting very difficult to move out during the day for us. What is happening is the natural vitamin D requirement, which is required for everyone. People are not even willing to get that as well. So what we as a responsible citizen can do is avoid ACs as far as whenever they are required. We can switch to more eco-friendly or more environmental friendly sources of transportation like your CNG or maybe EVs, or if possible, like we can go to work with a cycle or maybe using public transportation at least for 2 or 3 days in a month. That is what we all together can do. The second thing is your changing weather patterns. So the things like floods or droughts have become more common these days, and these are impacting the people widely. Like if we talk about the agriculture sector, the crop gets wasted every year. The farmer works throughout the year, and then heavy rains happen, or sometimes when he was patiently waiting for the rain to happen, it doesn't happen in that time. So because of that, the agriculture gets wasted, and this is the impact of the changing rainfall patterns in our daily lives. The third thing, which is also important, is your depleting water levels. So recently, I was in Kanpur. My home construction was going on, and when we were doing the boring for the home, the water level that we could find was it was below 200 feet, and it is creating a problem of water scarcity in urban areas. आपने गुड़गांव, दिल्ली, NCR areas में देखा होगा कि there are areas wherein you need to call the local municipality water source to get the water on a daily basis. So this is because of the water scarcity problem that we are facing because of the depleting water levels. So based on my work during the 5 6 years, some of the small steps that I took, I would be suggesting some ways wherein these most of these ways are already known to us, but I would be suggesting them so that we as a community can take those steps. So first is sustainable buying. We all know that there are a lot of brands coming up in every space, in food, in personal care sector, who are making the products using the sustainable practices, like who are not using your chemicals, etc., while making the product. So we as an educated citizen, we can get to know how the product is being made. If we know that the product doesn't have chemicals, it doesn't involve harsh manufacturing practices, we can move to those products and switch to alternating buying practices. We can also do one more thing. Then when you go to a restaurant or get the food packed, you can take your own packaging or own bag in which you can get the food and avoid tissues or cutlery, etc. Companies in the food and beverage sectors like Zomato, etc., have started this initiative wherein they give you an option of not opting for cutlery. So these are small practices which we all know, but we do not follow these in our daily lives. The second thing which we can do is eco-friendly packaging. So most of you would be having your own brands or some businesses wherein you would be using some kind of packaging. So what we did was we replaced the bubble wrap with a eco-friendly bubble wrap. That is what you can do. Consumer awareness is something key. Your product is going to a lot of people. Some of them may not have the kind of knowledge that you may have. So through those products or something that you are selling or anything, so using those products, you can make more people aware about these things. They may see ki I already know this, but since lot of brands are telling me about these things, they may feel that this is the right time to take those small steps. Then third is your waste control or reducing waste. So when you go to a restaurant, you can ask them for not a disposable straw instead of some plastic or those metal straws or something. Those have come up, etc. Recently, I figured out about a company. Since I work in the food and beverage sector, what they do is the oil consumption is lot high in the whole food and beverage sector. So what they do is they collect oils from restaurants and make it recycle it to make biodiesel fuels for alternative purposes. So we had a tie-up with lot of those companies earlier for our outlets as well, and I connected few of the partner restaurants as well to those companies so that the oil being used in the restaurant can be used for this recycling purpose. The next is your energy consumption or energy power saving resources. So switching to solar power, since government is also incentivizing people on those things, and we people sitting here are someone who can afford these practices. We can, while getting your home done or something, you can get solar power done at your home, and you will get the incentives as well. But these are the things which will leave some positive impact on the environment. Switching to power saving devices for all your home needs, etc. Some small steps which can be taken, and they will contribute positively in this direction. Then one thing which we all talk about is carbon footprint. So today it is very easy for all of us to buy things from Amazon, Flipkart, etc., and then not accepting that order and it is going back again. These all things link to a lot of transportation. Even for a small order of 200 to 50 rupees, you do not accept it sometimes because of any reason, and you do not even feel that the cost is being burned there. Apart from that, there is a lot of transportation which leads to reduced or returned orders, right? So these are the things you need to buy, you need to take into account while making your buying choices. While making any buying choice, you need to rethink once before placing an order that is it something I really need, and you can reduce those return transportation costs for the companies as well as the negative environmental effect that happens because of these long distance transportation. So this is something which you can take into account. Then few more things like your water harvesting techniques, like rainwater harvesting is something which everyone knows about, right? But not many people actually follow it. As I told about my trip to Uttarakhand, when I went there and they told me that water sources are dying up, so there are a lot of homestays are there which have actually the water reserve for 7-8 days within their premises. They have recently started doing this thing, and what happens is कि जब किसी एक होम स्टे वाले ने ये चीज की, and because in mountains they feel lot of difficulties in getting water for their guests. So जब किसी एक होम स्टे वाले ने ये चीज की, then other home stays who may start losing guests because of these problems, so they will also start doing same thing, and this leads to a community of change makers. I'll tell you about an example which we did in Kanpur. We on my morning walks, what I did was we started this tree plantation drive with seed bombs. Seed bombs is something कि it's a soil packed in a ball kind of a form filled with some seeds. Since lot of people talk about tree plantation but doesn't get a chance or doesn't get a time कि ये चीज मैं कैसे करूँगा, right? So what happens there is कि you have 4-5 bombs of small soil wherein seeds are there, and you can throw them anyway. And when these balls are exposed to natural air and water, plants grow there automatically. So if you throw 10 bombs, 2 or 3 balls will again grow into a plant. And this concept is being adopted by few of the NGOs as well. So what I started during my morning walks is a tree plantation drive wherein I started it alone. But after a week, I saw few of my friends joining me as well in this drive. And the plogging drive as well we started, wherein we collected small amount of waste from the local streets, and we put it in the dustbins provided by the municipality. Over 1 or 2 weeks, what we saw ki people started coming, like the people who are already going on to a walk and like we used to meet daily, those people also starting taking efforts with me. And then it became a revolution within the city of Kanpur. Like there are 3-4 influencers who got connected to us. They spread this within the community, and now this is a big thing in Kanpur. Like there are few influencers as well on Instagram who are promoting it. So 30-35 minutes during your walk, and if you do this activity, it will not increase your walk time by 10-15 minutes at max. But this is something which is very easy to do, can be done by everyone. We all know it as well, but the real question of all these things which we are talking is ki are we actually doing it? So through this talk today, if I am able to inspire even one single person from this room to take even one small step, I'll feel that the objective of my talk would be achieved. And that is all I have to say. I'll leave the audience with one simple question. Humans are known to be कि चालाक होते हैं, right? But हम लोग सिर्फ अपने बारे में ही सोचते हैं कि we all think about ourselves कि हमारा ये हो जाए, this thing and that. We used to think about our families as well. And our upcoming generation is also our family. So are we leaving anything for them? I'll leave the audience with just this question. And I feel that with the small steps taken together by the community, it will make a lot of change. Thank you so much.